We made it. It's Friday. Let's do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Good morning. What's up, everybody? It's Friday. We had a lot of basketball last night, so we got some fun stuff to talk about. We got a new slate is so rare coming at us. We got a little bit of everything. We got a JBB ratio, a little bit of everything in the Twitterverse last night. All right, who's here? Sneap said the Celtics L can be blamed on Tatum listening to Little Baby. I get it. Jump Shoot's looking for the all-world team. Listen, we'll talk all-world. There is nothing engaging about the content around all-world. I'm sorry to say it. I can't do. I even played it a bunch yesterday to try to see what's a cool angle we could do. I do not care. It's dumb. Stubbs is here. Warland in the house. We the people. Cameron Quinlan. F it Nico. Winwitty says Top Shot Common Man. Who else we got? Jump Shooty looking for food. Snoopaloop. D Rose. I know it was some weird stuff. Orion. Good morning. Also, let me clarify. I think it's fun. The game's fun. I think it's just pretty impossible to make engaging content around it. Our man LG gave it a go last night. Shout out LG. I know Jeb filmed some stuff, so listen, maybe those goats can get it done. I see So Rare getting sponsored everywhere in this DFS streets now. Ooh, we the people. Tell me more. Where are you seeing that? I haven't seen it yet, but I haven't been looking either. This intro music reminds me when you paused old Nintendo games. Yeah, hell yeah, that's a good one. Good morning to everyone. Rugged by Luka. Yeah. Poor Luka, man. We have only a handful of basketball games last night. I think it was 6 or 7 games, so we'll go over those. I will say though, for the games that we did get, there were some fun ones. I stayed up, man. I was half asleep and then falling asleep in the fourth quarter during the Mavericks Suns game, but I had a little bit of a sweat and a couple of underdog things, which we hit one, we lost the other one. The other one was so close. If the Spurs could have kept that a little bit closer, but yeah, hey, so because it's Friday, just a reminder, we have Live Before Lock at 5:30 tonight. We got some fun announcements with Live Before Lock, too. We got our man Ghost of Greg Oden's going to be joining us a little bit more regularly now. I think we're going to have a special guest as well. We also have a fun little promo code sponsor type thing. So a lot of fun stuff coming. So tune into that. Stochastic and Osmo starting to tout it yesterday. Hell yeah. Although I don't want them creating content just because, Stay in your lane, boys. Let me cook. What's that Toy Story meme? Hold on, let me cook. But yeah, a lot of fun stuff for us today. We'll talk about today's basketball. Enjoyed seeing your Celtics choke at home. I know it must have felt I don't know, it must have felt very Heat culture right? So probably good to see him. That was a tough loss. We're going to talk about it. That was a really tough loss. Steve saying NBA all world is bad. Tried it while waiting for the train and would definitely prefer catching the Pokemons. Yeah. At least I'm not playing Alec Burks anymore. There's a lot of Alec Burks. Although Burks balled last night. All right, let's get into some of the shooty hoops, huh? Let's talk about some of it. As always, like the stream, subscribe. Oh, and if you missed last night's show, we did the 89 Cavs last night, which was a lot of fun. We laughed a bunch. So check that out. You can find that both in the podcast form or just rewatch last night's stream. And then also our man James and I came back last night and we did some F1. We got caught up on F1. We're going to do another show in a couple of weeks, I think Monday the 13th. So, yeah, check that out. And also, let me do a quick refresh here. 7,604 subs. Let's go. Let's go. We already passed 7,600. Usually we hit that 100 mark Friday night after Live Before Lock. We're up like 110 subs already this week. Let's go. Now we're just to the moon, boys and girls, to the moon. They got projections now, so maybe they're coming for JBB. Ooh, yeah, we'll see. We'll talk a little So Rare too as we get later into it. Because I got a little dilemma here for a lineup that I've been working on. I had scooped a Dinwiddie before the injury, so brutal. All right, let's. You can fit in a small stadium. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We do. I think we have more active users. Do we have more active users than Top Shotty? T-Man's here. Josh Harvey here for the financial advice as always. All right, let's talk some basketball. Then we'll talk some So Rare. Last night, we'll start with the Bing Bong. The Bing Bong boys. Let's just start with regular season Randall, right? He earned it.
The regular season Randall.
Man, the Knicks won 121-17. Jaylen Brown missed. Jaylen Brown had just a horrific game. I think everyone's going to talk about the 2 free throws he missed. So the Knicks blow the lead, which would have been what everyone was talking about today, where they blow another lead. But instead, in overtime, down 1, Brown gets fouled, goes up to the line, brick, and then they miss a 3 at the buzzer to tie it in overtime. But Randall dropped 37-9. Jaylen Brown, real quick, though. He had 22 and 9, but he shot 1 for 8 from 3, 8 for 22 from the field. Tough game. Tatum, though, again, man, like this is I feel like we've stopped talking about Tatum. We haven't, but with the stuff about like Jokic playing really well, everybody's playing really well, right? And so we've kind of stopped talking about like the Tatum MVP candidacy. He's just like big 30-point, big double doubles like the last 4 or 5 games. But anyways, 35 and 14 from him. Jalen Brunson, another solid game too, 29 and 7. Tatum threw up 5 bricks in a row. Don't leave him out. He did. Tatum did throw out a bunch of bricks. Also, shout out Dustin had a couple of really good. You had a great reply to the Team Hold tweet last night. It was very funny. We the people said, guess everyone named Jalen suck last night. Yeah, dude, that Rockets rotation was really bad last night. Like when I was going through that, we'll get there. But anyways, not to make fun of, not to just say the Celtics played bad. Knicks were in control of that game. For most of the second half. They did fall apart in the fourth quarter, but then, they got the W. They went into Boston, got the W. It's a good win for them, especially because, like we say with the Knicks, right? Win 5, lose 4. Win 5, lose 4. That was a good win for them. Celtics now, I think they've lost 4 in a row. We'll look at the standings in a little bit. I mean, I'm absolutely not panic mode. Like, I don't really care. But yeah. Yeah, we will talk about the All-Star selections too. We will too. And Andre's saying you guys win that game 8 out of 10 times. So yeah, that's what I mean. Like if you're a Celtics fan, like you're not worried. You're like, okay, yeah, I would have rather have won that game. But I mean, whatever, dude. Yeah, Jaylen Brown doesn't go 1 for 8 from 3. He doesn't miss both of those free throws. So they're still without Marcus Smart, like all the things, whatever. But if you're a Knicks fan, you can feel good. You should take the W. Feel great. Hornets and Bulls, as D Rose was talking about earlier. The Hornets just kind of dominated the Bulls. 111-96. DeRozan at 28 and 5. Levine had a really bad game. He had 18 and 9. Vooch was like my big man pick. It's funny. I had this thought too. I was doing a lot of those underdog DFS drafts, right, where it's just like one slate only, and I was taking a lot of Vooch because bigs against the Hornets, right? And I was like, you know what, though? Vooch isn't your typical big, so he's going to need to get like 20 boards. He's not someone that's going to like dominate down low. And then sure enough, he kind of had a bad game. He had a bunch of rebounds. I think it was like 14 and 16 or something like that. On the Hornets side of things, though, Scary Terry, 28 and 5. LaMelo came back. He dropped 15, 11 and 8. And then Plum Dog Millionaire, 21 and 12. The whole Hornets organization on the trading block outside of LaMelo and the rookies. So I imagine Scary Terry gets moved. I imagine Plum Dog gets moved. Maybe even PJ too. We could see it. DraftKings saw all the live bets roll in on the C's, watching the Knicks blow another lead, and said, nope. I like that. Yeah, Vooch was tough. Hard to Vooch ever making an all-star game again. Yeah, and he shouldn't. All right, this is also what Boston's doing right now to make themselves feel better. Everyone playing us, though, it's like we're getting their best game. They're trying like extra hard against the Celtics, and that's why it's not fair being a Celtics fan. I mean, maybe, yeah, that's probably true. But also, like, just don't miss both of your free throws at the end of the game. It was kind of weird. I was watching it, too, and I was like, man, it feels like he's going to miss these. All right. whatever. We don't. That was a bad loss for the. It was a bad loss for the Bulls. Oh, guys, finally, man, we haven't gotten a lot of this in a while, but I think it's important that we have this conversation, okay? Because what's been lacking from this stream, besides authenticity, is this. And Shori Lukwaj says, "Hi, I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, views." Chatbots. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Auto on. Incredibly flexible and convenient order management panel. Everything is in your hands. Turn it on, turn it off, or customize it. Go to doghype.com. Man, I'm a huge dog hype. Yeah, but if you want to sign up for chatbot, doghype.com. Hashtag promo code hold. Doghype.com. God. Oh, it's Doge Hype. It's Doge Hype. Yes. This feels legit. This feels legit. Because when I think about what can I do to simplify my streaming capabilities, it's Doge. That's great. That sounds like a pretty good deal. He doesn't want to help with SEO. I totally agree with that too. Yeah, top. That's it. That is a top comment. I totally agree, man. Wow. I'm just glad. I thought we were missing a step, and then Doge Hype's gonna fix my streams. Man, that's good. That's good stuff. Anyways, I envision that a Bulls fan did that so we could stop talking about it. Ever since you stopped being a Top Shot branded channel, I haven't seen a Sexbot Top Shot confirmed how to get girls. You know what it is? Yes, it is Top Shot's fault that we don't get sex bots anymore. What it really is because you have to be a subscriber to chat now. I think that's what it is. Yeah, 10K subs, dude. Hopefully they throw this video as a promo on their website. I do too. Yeah, and then I get sued, right? Do it if they use so rare. Yeah, that's true. There you go, Snoopaloop. All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. What do we got here? Pistons beat the Nets last night. You know what you call that right there? That is a hangover from like a real intense game against Philly. Pistons won 130-122, and it wasn't like the Nets melted it. Like the Pistons were winning that game from start to finish. They were like, every time I checked in on it, we're like, wow, the Pistons are beating the Nets. It's pretty funny. Sadiq Bey had 25 and 9. The aforementioned NBA All-World God Alec Burks had 20 and 5. Dude, Nicholas Clay. Oh yeah, you're right. We need a Pistons drop. You're absolutely right. I forgot that we had the Pistons drop because we haven't used it in like 15 years.
Detroit basketball. Detroit basketball. You better
Yeah, hell yeah. One thing too, like in podcasts that I was listening to maybe like 2 weeks ago when people were starting to talk about the All-Star game, we're getting a lot of like, is Nicholas Claxton an All-Star? And everyone was like, he's playing really well, but he's not an All-Star. I'm not saying he's an All-Star, but night after night, he's putting up big double-doubles. He had 27 and 13 last night. Kyrie continues to play really well. He had 40, 6 and 5, and then Edmund Sumner had 24 off the bench. I forget who they were without last night. I don't know if it was Seth Curry that got ruled out. I forget who got ruled out. But there you go. So whatever. Good win for Detroit, I guess. Cavs Rockets. This game sucked, man. Evan Mobley at 21 and 10. That was fun. Garland at 26 and 9. The only thing I would say is, listen, it might be too late. We already missed the boat. But I'd get on board with Tyree Eason right now. Tyree Eason is starting to earn some more minutes. I know some of this had to do with injuries, and that's why he was able to get into that lineup. But this is legit. I think he's like pretty good. I think he's pretty good here. He put up 18 and 11 last night off the bench, and I think this is like 2 or 3 games in a row where he's overperformed. I don't know, something to pay attention to. I don't know what his cap is now on So Rare. He might have had too many games. You might have missed that window, but he's been really, really good. So just keep that in mind. I don't know if you're to somehow make this about Top Shot. If you're paying attention to 4 Badgers, get yourself a Tyree Eason. There you go. Mavs Suns. I did watch this one. Mavericks won 99-95. The story coming out, Luka stepped on Cam Johnson's foot. And then it looked like he was okay. He was going to I thought what was going to happen based on his initial reaction, because he definitely turned his ankle. But he kind of walked it off a little bit, finished the defensive possession. And then they called timeout. They got him out of the game. And I thought it was like, maybe they just go in there, tape it up like real tight and bring him back. However, he was like immediately ruled out too. They said x-rays came back negative, but I thought I was surprised with the pace in which he was ruled out of the game. So That's something to pay attention to. On the So Rare streets, I mean, everybody gets a bump, right? So they don't have Christian Wood, and they don't have, say they don't have Luka, but I mean, that's crazy, right? That's it's going to be Spencer Dinwiddie. It's going to be Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to take so many shots. Even somebody like Dorian Finney-Smith is going to get a lot of shots in. Yeah, looking for food and Dwight Powell season. I know. Is that we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. But yeah, I lean like Dorian Finney-Smith's going to start having to do a little bit more, which is like bad. I mean, that's not what you want. Josh says, every time I watch the Mavs, it feels like Jason Kidd and his team hate Josh Green. They throw him in the corner and don't let him move. I know Josh Green had a couple of nice, he had a great take where he like cuffed the ball, like cuffed it and then like rolled it in. I do love Josh Green quite a bit. I hope I forget what his cap's at now, like 16, 15. But yeah, anyway, so what I thought was even crazier was the Suns loss. Like, how do you lose this game? They were at home too. That game was in Phoenix, right? Borland said, is there an estimate time? No. So like, that's the thing. Luka might actually just play this weekend. I imagine he rests at least one game. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Again, the fact that the X-rays came back negative, maybe it's only a couple of games. Maybe they were just like, you know what, it's not worth putting any more pressure on it. Let's see what happens. But yeah, I don't know. Well, I wanted to say Mikal Bridges had one of the wildest celebrations I've ever seen in my life. So I'm sure you've seen it at this point. So he hits a corner three and like puts the hand up, right? And then just like points it at somebody on the bench. I don't even know who was on the bench. It was not somebody who wasn't dressed. Like it looked like he was in the second row and almost like a 3-point gun, just like pointed it at him. And it was like really methodical. And the ref immediately was like, yeah, you can't do that. Teed him up right away. And then there's a clip of Mikal talking to Chris Paul being like, dude, I didn't even say anything. And he's, yeah, but you did. You pointed a gun at him. You pointed a 3-point gun at him. They're not going to let you do that. It was wild. I mean, I've seen them. You hit the three, you point at the bench, right? And just like let it sit there for a second, but like a little bit more animated. This was like cold-blooded, calculated, just kind of like. And I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, we the people saying I loved it. It was hilarious, but it was so funny to me that he was shocked he got teed up. That was crazy. Yeah, and Josh, I saw this too. He did it like so. It was not nearly as insane as the first one. The first one was wild. The second one, he put it up there, and it was almost like he's like, "Oh shit, I did just get a technical," and like put it down a little bit more quickly. But that was wild. That was I couldn't believe it. It was so funny. It was so funny to see that, especially from Mikal Bridges, who seems like he's always just kind of smiling. Mikal Bridges reminds me like of a puppy too, a little bit, where it seems like his feet and his hands are like bigger than what his body's. But like when you see him run, he's like, those are some big feet. Like and that's what reminds me like a puppy. You're like, that dog's gonna be huge. So it was funny to even just see it from Mikal Bridges. Also, dude, DeAndre Ayton, if I just said to you, wow, DeAndre Ayton, 19 points, 20 boards, you would have been like, wow, really good game from DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton should have had 55 points last night. It was crazy. Although, you know what's been so funny too? He's turned into Rad Dad said he's been doing that, hasn't he? And then someone else, that's his signature three in front of a bench, but he doesn't. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that is his celebration for a three, but it was the way in which he held it at him. Like that's what was different. I did a short on it this morning. You can see it. It was just like it was a little bit more intense than his normal celebration. But yeah, everyone's been just dunking on DeAndre Ayton. And I know, I think the Suns, I think he's getting a little unfair treatment by like broadcasters in the media. And I know like he did miss a ton of shots last night. And it seemed like he was supposed to have more. But I feel like everybody just dunks on him a bunch. I don't know. It feels weird. Something feels off about it. I just think about this too. Like everybody's making fun of him for playing video games. The dude's like 22, 23. Like, who's playing fucking video games? All of you nerds in the chat were like, dude, you got to check out NBA All World. And then we're mad at DeAndre Ayton for actually being the right age to play video games. Like, I don't know. Just take some more accountability from the organization. I don't like it. But you guys know I'm a DeAndre Ayton stan. Remember when I was like, buy his Top Shot debut for $140? It's pretty nice. Maybe it's, yeah, I don't know. All right, whatever. So Cam Johnson though looking nice. Cam Johnson's having a couple of I'm that injury is going to be such a bummer because I think we were having a Cam Johnson coming out party. He was pretty good at the beginning of the season, then he got hurt, and now, but like just seeing what he's doing out there, he looks way more confident and in control than in previous seasons. And I mean, yeah, I was going to say it's because he's becoming more of a veteran, but he's also like 26 or something. Anyways, Cam had 22 and 8, and then CP3 had 22 and 10. CP3 had a couple of really nice drives down the stretch, hit like a couple of threes late in the corner too. He's playing really well after we all made fun of him for a while. But Suns L, and then the last game of the night, like who cares? Clippers won by a freaking million. 138-100. Kawhi had 27 and 7. Paul George in 35 minutes scored 35 points. Also had 7 assists. And on the Spurs side of things, Keldon Johnson had 19, and that was just kind of trying my best to come up with a stat from San Antonio. It was frustrating. Yeah, I don't know. Who cares? Clippers, good win for them. Let's check out the standings after last night's NBA action. There was something else I wanted to bring up too, and now I'm blanking on it, but let me pull this up here. All right, we got the Beantown boys still in first place here, but now the gap is closing. Philadelphia 76ers. Chop said the PG-13 windmill. Yeah, I did a YouTube short on that this morning. He threw that down, man, off a steal too. Good fantasy point for him right there. Steal and a dunk. But yeah, Sixers only 2.5 back now. Only 1 back in the loss column. And then you get the Bucks right there, 3 games back. Nets and Cavs tied up right here in the 4 seed, 4-5 seed, excuse me. Heat now only 2.5 back from there. Knicks creep up a little bit closer now. Hawks are right there, and then the Pacers and Wizards, Bulls, Raptors, all kind of very disappointing franchises. Except the Pacers, not fair to say that. And then whatever, Magic, Hornets, Pistons, who cares? On the west side of things, we get the Nuggets, the Grizz, Kang still in that 3 seed, baby, home court. For a round. And then New Orleans Pelicans, Clippers, and Mavs now both still just a half game back of the 4 seed. Pelicans need to get healthy, man. I still think the Pelicans are really good. I think they're really deep, but they need Zion back ASAP, Rocky. And then we get the Suns, just a game behind the Mavs. Same record. So we get the Suns, the Wolves, and the Warriors all 500. Jazz a game under 500, holding on to the 10 seed. And then you've got the Thunder and the Blazers 2 games under 500, Lakers 3 games, and then who cares about down there? So that's where we are now after another or almost another full week of basketball. Looking at the action tonight, and then we'll talk some what's it called? Some all-star starters. So Friday night rivalry week. Only a few games tonight, which is kind of weird, right? Friday night's usually like hardcore. Maybe it's because they spread it out a little bit more this week. But anyways, we got Milwaukee, Indiana, Memphis, Minnesota, rivalry week. Orlando, Miami, Cleveland, OKC, and then Golden State, Toronto. So, all right. Can somebody tell me why are we not putting ESPN games on Friday night? Did they change was there something in the TV deal? I mean, I guess I don't care. And then we get a bunch of ABC games on Saturday. Maybe because there's no football, that's what they're taking advantage. So we get Denver, Philly on Saturday, 3:00. That's going to be very exciting. Maybe we fire up a playback for that because we got Jokic versus Embiid, hopefully. And then the Subway Series, Brooklyn versus New York. It's at Brooklyn, though, so nobody will be there. And then Lakers in Boston late at night. So that's fun. This is why there are no games on Friday. I take back my sass. So that's the weekend action. All-star starters. Okay, so on the west side of things, right, they had LeBron's name, the captain. You get Steph Curry, Luka, and then the bigs were Zion, and why am I forgetting who the other big? Jokic, right? So I understand there were some people being like, dude, Zion, seriously, bro? If it's not Zion, it's AD, right? And this is the problem is like the positions, right? It's not like the voting, I don't think. Because if you're thinking of bigs in the West, if it's not Zion, it's AD. Both of them have been hurt. People just like Zion more. That's why. And I think that goes both for coaches, media, and fans. But like a lot of people are like, how are you not going to have Ja as a starter? How are you not going to have SGA as a starter? Dame as a starter? Like, I get it. But I don't know. What are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? Who are you going to put in there? Like, you're going to take Luka out as a guard? You're going to take Steph out as a guard? Like, what's the play there? Well, if you can only do 2. Oh, yeah, Sneeps. That's right. Sneeps is going to do some playback tonight for Grizz Timberwolves, baby. So lock and load Grizz Timberwolves tonight. Come watch on playback. So I don't know. I mean, I'll go the other way. I think the system is broken. Because I don't know. What's the other big? What's the other big that should have been in there? I wish they could have just made Luka forward. I think it's not. He's like 6'9", dude, or 6'7", whatever he is. Like, just make him a forward. Make him a point forward. Who cares? And then you get John there, SGA, and then people shut up a little bit. Zion can get voted in or get picked as a reserve or something. Do something like that. On the East, though, right? So the East side, we have Giannis as the captain, and then Kyrie and Donovan as the guards, and then KD and Tatum as the forwards. And this is egregious. And again, this goes back to the position crap. But you can't have Embiid, who's like second in the league in scoring, on the second best team in basketball. You just can't do it. He can't be left off. And this is like Kyrie shouldn't be starting. Just make Tatum the 2, Donovan, Tatum, KD, Embiid, Giannis. That's like, just do it that way. It's so stupid. Did Zion miss too many games to be a starter in your opinion? No, I don't care. The All-Star game doesn't matter. It's fun. So I don't really care. And with the system that it is now, like Zion was must-watch TV, was like incredible until he got hurt, and then he got hurt. I would much rather that. Like, people wouldn't Laurie when with the game in Utah make sense. Laurie's gonna make the All-Star team. I mean, yeah, I guess you could. And like, maybe he's the starter because Zion won't be able to play. So I get it. I don't want to be like, I don't know. Like, who do you want to go see? You want to go see Zion? You want to go see Lauri Markkanen? Like, what's more exciting? Nothing in Utah makes sense. Also true. But on the East side, like, dude, Embiid Embiid has to start. Like, what are we doing? Embiid has to start. That's so stupid. And I know Kyrie's been playing really well. And I'm not even saying that Kyrie shouldn't be an all-star. You just think, well, I was talking about this last night with the 89 Caps. Think about how deep the guards are in the West compared to the East, where in the East, in the West, you have, right, Luka and Steph starting. You got SGA, Dame, Ja, Booker, like all of those guys coming off the bench. I'm sure I'm forgetting some as well. But in the East, it's like, yeah, it's Donovan and Kyrie. I guess Jaylen Brown gets screwed a little bit. You could say that. But after last night's performance, I'm glad Jaylen Brown wasn't named a starter. But Kyrie, I don't like Kyrie. I know he missed a bunch of games at the beginning for craziness, and I think he's like a bad teammate. But he's playing out of his mind right now. So whatever, I don't hate it. I think just the biggest travesty is that Embiid wasn't starting. If Embiid's not starting your All-Star game, and you look at the landscape of the league right now, it's broken. All right, I don't know. That's like this today in basketball. We covered. Let's do a mental health break so I can regroup here, and then we'll look at some So Rare, some Top Shot stuff. We'll look at some threads, Let's do this one. But I'm just not going to do it, guys. And it feels good to not cave to the chat because I am the boss. Like I said earlier, I'm in charge today. I am in charge. You can't tell me what to do. Some good comments in here. Sean, I agree with this, man. If CJ was in the East, he's probably an all-star, right? McCollum's been balling. I totally agree. Good point. People want to see the all-stars regardless of stats or how much they played. Next thing you know, Mac McClung will be in the dunk contest. So stupid. I don't like Kyrie either, but he may be the most talented player in the NBA. Yeah, I mean, he's been balling, man. What's up, Garen? All right, let's what do you guys want to do? Let's look at the thread first. I thought this was great. I thought this made me giggle this morning or last night, excuse me, while all of the craziness of my streams. We did so many streams yesterday, people. So many streams. Hold on, I gotta move my tabs around. So first thing I'll do actually is I'll show you our tweet over in Team Hold. So Rohan tweeted out yesterday. I think I called it out when it happened too, or maybe I called it out in the Discord. But Rohan tweeted out something where he says, which makes most sense to a new user who ripped a couple of packs as a place where they can trade in NBA Top Shot moments they don't want in exchange for more packs to rip. And I immediately clocked that of like, oh, is this kind of weird that this is what they're focusing on right now? And I was like, I'm gonna let it go. I'm not going to get involved. We're just going to let it go. I'll let all the simps reply being like, well, dude, it depends. Like, do you want them to be, do you want to keep it like basketball? Because if it's like basketball, just make them lockers. But if it's a trade, should we say burn? Is burn too bad? No, we should say burn. We don't want to offend the players. Anyways. So then I saw Rad Dad's tweet. Shout out Real Rad Dad, who, if there's no one has been more in the Top Shot streets during both the Bears, Bulls, all of the runs. He said, is this suggesting that trade tickets, as they're currently known, won't have another use other than ripping more packs? And that was kind of what we had talked about on Shot Tank. We were like really excited about last year, or whenever trade tickets were announced, about some of the opportunities. Like, imagine if you can use trade tickets for the Top Shot convention, LOL. And then we thought that because you know what? They said that. That's like in the blog. They said that that's something they were going to do. And then we're like, oh, maybe you can use trade tickets for packs. Maybe you can use trade tickets for merch, for NBA store credit, for like to boost up your Top Shot score. Like, there's a lot of different ways you could do it. And so like when Rad Dad brought this up, I was like, okay, let's see how we feel about this. So we said, where's our quote tweet over here? The team holds streets. So I just said, I think before we answer this, a further examination on the use case for trade tickets should happen. We talked about this at length at Shot Tank. Is trade tickets just for packs? And then we just threw in a little dig, looking forward to the next mailbag, because I love the mailbag. But JBB, man, shout out JBB. I know, like, everybody's like, oh, you hate it. He doesn't hate it. He does way more work in the Top Shot world than most of us. Just said, kind of weird to focus on the name of trade tickets rather than actually innovating and providing options for their use on the platform. And then here we go. Convention, spend-based merch reward store, buying packs. Like we were just talking about, so many things, ideas of what they could have already been used. You know, it gets a bunch of likes. And then Roham, Daddy Ham in the chat says doing both. And then here we go. We got a full-on ratio on the CEO. He said, to be fair, that's what we heard in the middle of S3 and at the end of S3 and before S4 and now at the middle of S4. So at this point, that doesn't hold much weight. I think that's very fair. I don't think that was like, you know, just an unnecessary slam dunk. I think that, like, you know, that deserves some consideration because there's no conversation around it, right? There hasn't been. And then shout out the Disruptor, the Top Shot Shark. I forget how many other ones he has. Out of curiosity, when were trade tickets ever linked to a convention? I'm not arguing. I also love this. I'm not arguing with your other two example, although here's an argument. And then John immediately was like, here's the blog. So for those that forget, the Top Shot convention, the last time we got together was in New York, but this time we're going bigger, bringing fans together through what we aim to turn into an annual tradition. With player meet and greets, special convention packs, limited edition merch available for trade tickets, and so much more. But there you go. That's go. Where's L ratio tweet? I know, right? I should probably just throw in. Do I still have this open? Oh no, I don't have it. I have like a funny ratio one. But anyways, that's a Vince Carter poster dunk. Let's be serious. That was great. Dunk tank. There we go, Borland. I like that. Dunk tank's pretty good. But yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, listen, I just whatever, dude. This is probably that tweet right there. That tweet right there is probably why they only do mailbags, right? Because they're just like, oh man, L after L after L. But honestly, no one probably cares. They probably don't give a shit about this at all. They probably just muted John Boy, and then they're like, all right, we'll never hear from this again. Or they'll unfollow him. Shout out all of the staff that have unfollowed me. But anyway, so that's the Top Shot stuff. Listen to MG Elite packs. People seem like they were having fun with it, right? Did you guys grab did you grab an MG Elite pack? Also, I'm seeing I saw some new people. Mike's in the house. What's up, Mike? Thank you for being here, man. Marco's here. What up, baby? I saw all of the good saw a lot of the good rips, people. They the first round sold out, right? So the 6K, those sold out pretty quickly. I know the Top Shot Fund was like max packs. Saw a bunch of max packs. And then now they're doing the general queue, right? Where there's 3,000 left. So I haven't paid attention to how many of those have been reserved, but that's good. Got an MGLE. There you go. You got a Maxi. Didn't hate it. There you go. Congrats. Yeah, well, congrats to everybody got one. Min packs, reserved one. There were no packs. Yeah. I sat it out too. But I'm happy for everybody that crushed. I saw a lot of good shares. Shout out our man Goblor. I don't know if is Goblor still hanging out with us these days? Our man Goblor pulled an SGA too. Remember, to be eligible for packs yesterday, you had to have a 200 TSSSS. So I'm guessing those folks were all pretty invested. Yeah, right. They were the ones that were able to just go like aggressively maxing and packs and relaxing and stacks and whatever. Anyways, good stuff by everybody. Everybody did a good job. Let's take a look at, Matron season. What's up, Quinny? Good to see you, man. Let's go take a look at, I'm going to show you the situation in So Rare that I'm in right now because I don't know what to do, y'all. I've got a couple of really good plays for this rare contender. I also, you can't be winners every week. I got smoked this week, guys. I get smoked in my lineups. I was looking at the price of Wiseman a second ago to sell it, not to buy it, just for full disclosure. Let's look at what my lineups were this past week. Okay, congrats to me. Common Western Conference, I finished 992nd. Awesome. When we get to the limiteds, 1820, I don't think that won anything, right? Or that actually might have. Did that sneak in? How much did they pay out for this one? Did that sneak in? Did we get one? What's the prize pool? 1845. Oh yeah, baby. Tier 5, ship it. All right, we did get something. So that squad was okay. Brandon Clark with 34, Simmons 27, awesome, and then 43, 45, Malachi Brown with 20. This was such a bummer, man. 88 from LeBron, and then everybody else just sucked one. Michael Porter Jr. didn't play. That was sick. And then my rare contender, Scotty Barnes, disappointed. And that's really what the difference was. Scotty Barnes disappointed. So that was a real bummer. It was bad. It was bad. Gnome wins every week. Yeah, Gnome is the best, though. I grabbed an Eason for So Rare earlier this stream. Thanks to Mike. Yeah, what's Eason going for? Jalen Smith at one point. Yeah, I know, man. But this is what I'm working with for this upcoming rare contender. And I'll show you guys where I'm at right now because I'm a little stuck. So Spencer Dinwiddie, Clint Capella, DeLon Wright. I think those are like my 3 locks right there, right? So that leaves me with 27. So I can go 13 and 14, something like that. I still got Jericho Sims. He's got 1 game against Brooklyn. I feel like that's a good matchup. Then that leaves me with 14. So I could go Muscala, but I don't think if we go over to Momentum Labs. And again, we'll live before lock tonight at 5:30. So remember that. Muscala is not really projecting well. So if we look at the 13s, there's like Dwight Powell's right there. I really don't want to play Dwight Powell. I really don't want to play Chris Duarte. Like Chris Duarte is what I don't want to do is pay for these guys. That's I should clarify, right? In the 14 range too. Is there anybody in the 14 range? Xavier Tillman, but I don't agree with this projection. So that's the problem I'm running into. I thought Sims was a sell. Willis, he was until he stopped pumping. So Sims was a sell if he popped off, and he didn't. So now we have to run him out again. So I don't really know how to handle this, right? So we look at, if we go to manager sells and we look at rare, because that's what I'm looking at, and then lowest price. So we can start with Duarte. Duarte says 105 for Duarte. I really don't want to spend 105 on somebody like that. I guess I would do it on Duarte before Powell. Excuse me. Let's look up at Dwight Powell. He's at 99. I mean, maybe he comes down a little bit. Yeah, Aaron, thank you, dude. Fresh cut. No one else said anything. Come on now. So I went and got a haircut yesterday. I'll show you guys this in a second. But while he was cutting my hair, I was like, oh man, he like buzzed a little too close to the side. I was like, I got this like weird streak. I'm gonna look like I'm 16 again. I'm like, Dad, I need this sick haircut. And what is it this side? No, it's this side. What it was, and you're not gonna be able to see it, I don't think. But what I have is like just a gray streak coming in right there. But it was like so light that I thought he buzzed it. We're getting old, guys. We're getting old. The bags under my eyes, the gray in the beard, the gray in the hair. I got to get famous soon. We're running out of time. But yeah, I don't know what to do with this. So then Powell was the other one. Who else did I say? Xavier Tillman. I mean, I guess I could take a shot at on the Tiller. No, he's 95 too. That's terrible. I'm not paying. Like, am I missing something with the Mavs? By the way, is somebody like out? That's true. That is true. Covington cap is 17. Stay tuned. Kyrie price hasn't gone up despite his amazing play recently. Try having copper and silver in your beard. That's when you're old. There you go, Quinny. I don't. Why do you? Tell me the story on Rocco. I don't. He's $50. I guess that's nice. Let's look at what Covington's cap is. I mean, what Covington's projection is. I just don't. Are you like thinking somebody gets traded? I feel like he's not getting a lot of run right now. Yeah, just for men sponsor. We absolutely need that. We looks great on the TV, but oh, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Farad came in to say Luka's injured. Yeah, Luka is injured. That's absolutely right. That's why I grabbed Spencer. But yeah, I don't know what to do in this range, gang, because I need somebody, right? Because like, unless I'm overthinking it, do you agree that lineup looks sharp, right? Getting Capella in there, Dinwiddie in there. I guess DeLon Wright I could move off of if I wanted to, but I kind of like DeLon Wright in case somebody else sits. And nobody else is really popping in there. Jeremy Sohan, right? Like, I mean, I guess I could get off DeLon Wright for Denny Avdia, but I'm sure Denny's expensive too now, right? So let's look at DeLon Wright first. Let's look at DeLon Wright. DeLon Wright is going for 70 with a cap of 22. I guess if I go Denny's 127. So Denny's not the answer either. Might have to be a last minute move before lock tonight. Looking for food. Don't do that to me, man. You know how bad that is? Because I usually talk about it on stream and then like 5 get purchased. We the people said, what are we looking at here? I'm trying to find somebody. So I have the lineup that I'll pull the lineup up one more time and then we'll just look at the spreadsheet. So this is the squad I'm trying to rock here in my rare contender. So we got Dinwiddie, Capella, and then I was going to go DeLon. Let's actually see. I think Wright projects okay, right? So DeLon is, where are you at? Oh, here we go. DeLon's got a cap of 22 with basically a projection of 23. What's Torrey Craig? Yeah, Torrey Craig's got a bad project. I should just sell Torrey Craig even though it's low. So yeah, we start with these 3. And then we get Jericho Sims in there, and it leaves me with a cap of 14. And I'm trying not to like wildly overpay. So Xavier Tillman is popping, but I disagree with this. I guess Gary Harris or Malachi Branham would be kind of interesting, but Branham only has 1 game, which kind of sucks. Harris with 2 is fine, but I'm nervous that Harris gets like bumped down with Isaac getting more minutes. Sims I already have, and then it's Dwight Powell and Duarte, but those guys are kind of expensive. You got Suggs, Zaire Williams, Devonta Graham. If we go a little bit lower, Jalen Williams. I mean, I guess Jalen Williams is kind of interesting. Yeah. Farad says Dinwiddie just dropped to 66. Yeah, but as long as Luka's out, I kind of like it. Javon Carter, I guess, but Carter is so dependent on other guys missing games, and they're getting a little bit more healthy now, right? AJ Griffin was popping weeks ago. I know, but that had more to do. I mean, I guess if DeAndre Hunter is going to miss more time. We got a bandy sighting. There we go, buddy. Yeah, I don't know. This is gonna be a tough spot. I mean, maybe I should just monitor injury news today. And scoop somebody else a little bit later. I'm not really sure. Not really sure how to handle it. But I'm excited. Yeah, live before lock tonight will be at 5:30. We'll give away some stuff. I think I'm gonna do a Twitter giveaway today too. I forgot like we could do that. I forgot we could do that. So now that we got like because before you couldn't do it with your promo code, now we can do it, whatever. Bates Jop cooked last game. I know, but figuring out the Spurs is so hard. And I agree with the people. I do like Duarte, especially because Nembhard I think is still questionable. Honestly, maybe Duarte's the guy. Because I feel like that is like a really solid squad. Like Dinwiddie, Capella, Wright, and Sims. I'll take a look at my limited champion here. Assuming LeBron only has 1 game, but it's against the Celtics. I can't imagine that's not a good play. And then here's an interesting one too. Would you rather have Sabonis with 1 game against Minnesota or Fred VanVleet with 2 games against Golden State and Portland? Normally, I would say Sabonis almost every time, but I think I'm taking Fred VanVleet here. I like the Portland matchup. Portland hasn't defended anybody since like 2015. So I think I would lean Freddie here. And it feels wrong not to play Sabonis, but I think Sabonis is I think I lean on Freddie. And then when we go down here, I imagine Cam Johnson's probably going to make, they only have 1 game and it's against the Spurs, but I could see that being nice. Although if there's no Ben Simmons, I wonder who that impacts. Michael Porter Jr., maybe he's back for the Philly game. See if there's anybody really like down here. Dorian Finney-Smith I know it's only 1 game against Utah, but DFS is probably there. Minnesota will be on the second night of a home back-to-back. There we go. Thank you. All right, let's see what else we got here. Kuminga, he's back. Mark Williams is back. They only have 1 game. Josh Green. I mean, I'm probably going to play Josh Green too. I know it's only 1 game against Utah. Let's see if I have anybody down here that like makes sense here. I think I'd probably go Green and see who I can pay up for. A lot of teams with only 1 game this weekend. Yeah, I think that's who it's going to have to be. Let's go. Man, Kevin Porter Jr. still being inactive sucks. Let's go. Who did I just say we were going to do? Josh Green? Right? Because assuming he sits, right? Assuming he sits, that leaves me with 39. That gives me Jamal Murray. Does that get me? Yeah, it gets me Jamal Murray or 2 games of Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane has been pretty bad here. Yeah, I think we're gonna. This feels nuts to go Desmond Bane. Well, okay, here's another one: 2 games of Bane or 1 game of Jamal. What do you do? I think it's Desmond Bane. I think it's Desmond Bain. There we go. You heard it here first. Plus 280 for Braun to pass Kareem versus the Bucks. There you go. All right, we the people. I think I'm going to go Bain. Even though Bain's been super disappointing, I just like 2 games. Those are 2 really good matchups. Minnesota and, Jamal because Jokic has been hobbled. I know, maybe. I just think Jokic is going to, Bain, but I think this is where my lean right now. I'm sure I'll change my mind like 15 times. All right, I think we'll call it there. I don't know. Bain is playing Minnesota. Yeah, I know. I love Jamal Murray, though. I'm such a Jamal Murray sucker. I got to figure out that rare lineup. That's going to be so annoying. I'm not looking forward to that. All right. Anything else you guys want to cover before we get out of here? Before we wrap up, just a reminder, check out 89 Cavs last night if you missed it. Shout out. I saw Quinny in the chat for the 89 Cavs. That truly, I think that's like one of the more underrated things. It's so much fun. We got a really fun show for next week, too, for the Cavs. We had some good laughs off air afterwards. But yeah, check out the 89 Cavs. Also, if you're an F1 fan, we talked some F1 last night. Our man James is going to be one of like the most informed people on the F1 world. And he broke down a lot of stuff last night. We'll be back with that again in a couple of weeks. Yeah. Thanks everyone for tuning in to all the morning stuff this week. This has been a fun week of shows, I think. Yeah, no, I did see all the flunk tweets, jump shoot, out of control, getting tagged in a bunch of flunky stuff. No, thank you. Hard pass. Those were, yeah. Steve and Justin are super funny. There's such a fun hang. They got such a good sense of humor. Steve is truly one of the funniest guys, and Justin was on one last night. So it was a good time. It really was a good time. Yeah, I don't know. If you guys don't have anything, I think we'll wrap there. Excited to be back. Live Before Lock will be fun tonight. We got a little beverage sponsor. We got a new co-host. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. So I hope if you're not in the sober streets, I hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Otherwise, see you at 5:30. We are out.